Nintendo is one of the many Japanese companies that have lost their way over the years because they've tried to chase a global audience instead of making the content that made them special in the first place. And now we're finding out that after 12 years of controversy and wacky workarounds, the journos and really the modern audience is getting their way because we're finding out that Tomodachi Life is going to feature Miis that can finally be gay and non binary. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, back in June 2025, we had found out that Nintendo removed gender from the Mii avatar creator ahead of the Switch 2 launch. As the industry faced growing pushback from gamers, it seemed that they didn't want to label the clearly male looking avatars a male and the clearly female looking avatar as a female. I think that this is insane. I think that if you really want to, you could add just like a third option that is customizable so that I could put attack slash helicopter. But I think that when you remove gender completely, it makes, first of all, no sense because everybody has a gender. There's only two of them. It's not hard to figure out who's a what. But you are clearly just trying to pander to a very small group of people. And is it making you more money? No, it's not. We've constantly been hearing for several years at this point about games that pander completely flopping. Games that do things like add all of these crazy pronouns that fail. Games that don't feature gender failing. Games where they have the most androgynous looking characters on the planet. Those don't do good either. So one day companies are going to need to wake up, but it's not today, clearly. So Nintendo's long-awaited return to its quirky life simulation franchise is already stirring controversy, not because of gameplay, but because of what many fans see as the company bowing to activist demands. During its recent direct, Nintendo revealed that Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, will include same-sex romantic relationships and a non-binary gender option for Miis. While these features are being framed by many legacy gaming media outlets as welcome additions, others are asking a more pointed question: why now, and why these changes specifically for longtime fans? The answer may lie not in modern innovation, but in unresolved activist backlash dating back to 2014, which is insane that they have been on this crusade for over a decade now. So, following the game's initial Western release, Nintendo faced widespread criticism online. Social media campaigns, petitions, and critical coverage accused the company of excluding LGBTQ players by design. The backlash was sustained enough that Nintendo eventually issued a public apology stating that it regretted disappointing players and that the limitations were the result of how the system had been implemented. So this isn't just them coming out and deciding, we're gonna throw in this one option for people. This is them caving to activist demands, and it just goes to show that this is the modern Nintendo. This is the Nintendo that exists now, and they are a shell of the company that they once were. Whenever companies cave to activist demands, my respect for them completely tanks. And of course, when it comes to big companies like Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, I already am always cautious when it comes to their games, their systems, their products, the people they're hiring, the moves that they're making. But this is ridiculous. They cave to the demands of people who are not going to support them anyway. So, back in 2014, they said, "We apologize for disappointing many people by failing to include same sex relationships in the game. Unfortunately, it is not possible for us to change this game's design, and as such, a significant development change can't be accomplished with a post ship patch. At Nintendo, dedication has always meant going beyond the games to promote a sense of community and to share a spirit of fun and joy. We are committed to advancing our longtime company values of fun and entertainment to everyone. We pledge that we create a next installment in the Tomodachi series. We will strive to design a gameplay experience from the ground up that is more inclusive and better represents all players. We pledge that if we create a next installment in the Tomodachi series, we will strive to design a gameplay experience from the ground up that is more inclusive and better represents all players. So, yeah, 12 years later, they have decided we are going to cave to these demands. It's because they're scared and they're afraid, but we're talking about Nintendo here. Okay, they clearly could do anything they want at this point, and they're going to make money. Now, will they make as much money as they're hoping with Tomodachi Life? I don't necessarily think so, because yes, it is going to sell, but is it going to sell the millions of copies that they're hoping for? That's a completely different question. When you cave to activist demands, I lose a lot of respect for you. And well, it's going to be hard to earn that back. Now, again, Nintendo's been a problem for a very long time. Nintendo has definitely bought into this global audience, modern audience spiel. And here are some of the official partners and resources that are linked on their website. Employee resource groups. We have Women's Initiative Network, supports and celebrates women by purposefully creating opportunities to make meaningful connections, learn and develop, and contribute to Nintendo's business. Ah, yes, because that definitely is going to make you more money. Rainbow, whew, every color there, promoting community and celebrating the stories and experiences of LGBTQ plus employees and consumers. Band, Black at Nintendo Dialogue, highlighting the African American experience and fostering employee engagement, learning, and community support. Only having resource groups for African Americans is a little bit suspicious, in my opinion, but the last one is API, creating opportunities to learn from one another, celebrating multicultural API perspectives, and find methods to contribute to the business. And yeah, I mean, I get that every company wants to make as much money as possible, but holy crap, do you really need this many official partners on a webpage? I'm only hearing about diversity and inclusivity here, but you're not actually including everybody. You're not actually being truly diverse. They can shout from the mountaintops that they are promoting inclusivity if they want, but we can clearly tell that that's not the case. And yes, the journalists are praising this because they got their way, because they successfully bullied this company into caving to their demands. Of course, they are going to be happy with this move. And as I'm sure a lot of you have noticed, I generally am the type of person to say the most options for the player, the better. I'm not going to partake in the gay romances. I'm not going to mark my character as non-binary. I think that these are insane, but Nintendo is so deep in the woke ideology that we have gotten to the point where they are promoting these types of relationships and these types of groups, and it's just gotten really weird. And as I am always going to say, for the one or two people that agree with this decision that are listening, companies don't give a shit about you. They don't care about your sexuality. They don't care about your gender. They don't care about the color of your skin. So making these moves isn't because they care. It is because they are trying to make more money off of you. And I'm sure if I've got two people that agree listening, only one of them is going to buy that game. And then Nintendo is going to lose out on 100, 200, maybe even 1,000 sales per one individual that they've gained. So congratulations, Nintendo, you blew it. So I'll be keeping my eye on this situation. Am I shocked to see this happening? No. Nintendo's been making questionable moves for years at this point. I know a lot of people are very skeptical over the brand new Nintendo of America president, because she definitely is somebody who probably agrees with moves like these. She is somebody who has said, every dream matters and everyone deserves a chance to do meaningful and creative work in games and storytelling. But we really do know what that means. But Nintendo is now bringing non binary gender options and same sex romances to Tomodachi Life as long standing activists demands are implemented. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.